Bittersweet Symphony is a story about two sisters, Kalila and Dobby. We were introduced to the story where Dobby attempts a suicide and everybody is scared, wondering what's going on, why did she do it, what's going on in her life. And the moral lesson or the entirety of the story just points to show that teenagers deal with serious problems. The fact that someone is a teenager doesn't mean the person has it all easy or all rosy. Hi, I'm Rovin. Welcome to Rovin True Books, and today we'll be discussing Bittersweet Symphony. Let's get into it. This is one very bittersweet story. I don't know if you've eaten something that has a bittersweet taste. That's the kind of thing that this book will do to you once you're done reading. So there's this satisfaction that yeah, this was bitter, but it's also sweet. So this book, it talks about two sisters, Kalila and Dobby. Kalila is the younger one. She's the outgoing one. She's not. She's the out. Sorry, Kalila is the younger one. She's quiet. She's reserved. Dobby, on the other hand, is outgoing, more extroverted, and all of that. And because Dobby is the elder one, Dobby has experiences that Kalila does not really get. And Dobby hides her pain so well. So Kalila sees this, and she in her head, she's like, this is a very good thing, but because she wouldn't know how to do that, how her sister is able to deal with her own demons peacefully, not necessarily peacefully, but just without anyone knowing that that's what she's dealing with. And it's very painful. But I think the most beautiful thing in this story is that when sisters love each other, they can do anything for each other. And that's why I really love this story. So it goes into the relationship dynamics they have and how it plays out. Now, their family has a particular dynamic. Their father doesn't stay with them. Their dad is divorced from their mom. And for a minute, you see why divorce is a very painful thing, especially to the children. How the children are made to deal with certain things alone. Because maybe the parent they'll prefer to tell wasn't around anymore, or he's divorced, he has his own family now. So there is a sort of competition, like, how do I tell you this is what I'm going through, and then you take it seriously enough and not butt into your family matter. It was very painful to see that happen, because I remember thinking, why I understand that he has a new family, but I felt like there would have also been a way for him to make place for his old family as well, and he wasn't able to balance that really well, which affected the children's emotions towards him. So while one was able to at least shield it a little bit, the other one did not hide her disdain for what her father did, which was actually quite remarkable if you ask me. Another thing I'll talk about is how in Africa we tend to dismiss certain things. It's like when a person is young in Africa, we tend to be like, a model shade, like his childishness that is doing you, when sometimes they could be going through the worst periods of their life. And in Africa, you cannot really tell people everything. But I like that our culture is changing, how people now have people around them that they can speak to about their troubles. This hasn't always been the case, but I like that it is changing. Another thing I also give remark to is the writing. It's very beautiful story. I mean, I've been struggling with reading for a while because I was in a sub-reading slump. But reading this didn't feel like a struggle. It didn't feel like a hassle. It was something that was just going. I don't know, the way some people eat amala, hot amala, they're like, it's just going softly. That's the way reading this felt. It was going softly, and I really enjoyed it. So I read a review somewhere while reading the book that it has a bittersweet ending, and I got to the end and I realized, oh, this is why it has a title. I also love the inclusion of songs in the book. I like when authors mention songs, because I feel like for a moment in my head it may not be true, but to get access to some particular emotions they want to discuss in their stories, they have to listen to those songs. That's what I felt. That's what I feel. Like I said, this is not facts, it's just me talking my own thing. I think as a debut, this is a really good book. It shows that the writer pays attention to the surroundings, pays attention to details. Like there are these little things that I could point out, like, oh my gosh, she does pay attention to details. And when you read it, you find out that I'm actually quite correct. I recommend this book to every young teenager to parents too, because I think parents should be more aware of the kind of society we are in now. It is different from the way things were before. Teenagers are dealing with a whole lot. In fact, adults are dealing with a whole lot. So how much more teenagers? So definitely problems would become a little bit trickier to handle. There's bullying, there's depression, there's just a lot to deal with. Also, for parents who throw so much money at their children, I think they have to learn that there's a way you will throw so much money at a child that he will think he can do anything and get away with it. And it is not a right way to bring up children. You should bring up children to learn that certain actions have consequences, and when they do those things, they'll have to pay for it. It doesn't matter how much money they have. Yeah, and that's all for me for today. Bye. See you in my other video.